we are again for another watercolor demonstration. Out in the middle of rural Norfolk. Last in the spring series of trees. Back at Wormergate in the churchyard. Let's just get straight into it. Beautiful day. Getting some raw sienna. We'll pop a touch up here as well in the distance. Lots of light, lots of sunshine today. Also we've got a few clouds coming in, which is quite nice. So there's a little bit of burnt sienna on the palette, which I've just incorporated. Incorporate a little bit more, shall we? Coming down here. And a bit more raw sienna, just to strengthen this up. In the foreground. There we go. That'll do. Start us off. Going to the sky. Ultramarine. Let that work its way down. We've got a touch of grey in here as well. Just let it do its own thing. It's going to dry pretty rapidly because of the sun and because of the wind today. Smaller clouds as we come down. Suggestions of a few cloud shadows. Rapidity, that's the key. Getting stuff in quick. Super fast. Not hanging around. You get the message. I'm going to pop in some more pigment up here. Just want this to get it stronger. Got some blue in here as well. There we go, that's our first phase. Just need to let this dry, and then we'll come on to step 2. Okay, we're ready for step 2. Here we go again. I'm just going to take out these runs on there. We're going to get back into this. Just dried enough to paint over. Touch of ultramarine. Might go for a bit of cobalt in there as well in this distance. Get a touch of the cobalt. Clear water off here. Don't want that to be affected too much. Just move the board back a touch. Gonna pop in some more pigment here. Just mix this up a little bit. Same again over this side with the this is cerulean and a touch of cobalt. Just to create a little bit of variety. In there. Angle the board, bring it down, we can see it starting to granulate nicely. Use those same mixtures. This is a little bit too damp to work on, but I can work on the foreground. Just take out those dots. Yeah, we'll work on the foreground. We'll pop in raw sienna and this ultramarine, mix up a nice little green. Just to give a little bit of variety in here. And we'll angle our brush strokes towards a tree, so the viewer is being guided to where they need to be. Put in some very strong cadmium yellow there. Just want to capture the spring essence, as we say. Talking of which, out here we have to be careful with this colour because it is very strong. We do have a lot of greens breaking through, especially near the top. Don't want to overdo it. I have to capture some water in here now and just ease some of this off. It's just clear water, just manipulating this a little bit. There we go. That will work. Yes, it will. Add a bit more water in here. The liquid feel good. How are we doing here? Well, we can work in on these trees. Very dark. I ain't gonna need that. Just spray that off a touch. Don't need it. Very strong cadmium yellow. Especially Winsor Newton Artist Professional is a little goes a long way. Right. Let's pop in some of this Payne's Grey. Touch of this and umber. I just need more mixture, more liquid. So it's just those two. More liquid. It's the order of the day. Let's just get in some of these trunks and branches. Just popped in touch of this ultramarine. Still not enough liquid in here. I'm just going to have to pop in some there. The joys of painting outside is the paint's dry incredibly fast. pushing down, see the bristles bending, and then lifting off to get the finer points on the foliage. Kind of wiggling about a little bit, you can see. A bit of dry brush there, that's quite nice. So hopefully you're able to see the technique going on. Brush technique. Bit dry as well in there, dry brush technique. Concentrating. As this tree is kind of like the heart of the whole, that's the focal point. Obviously we need to make it impactful. Put the darkest darks next to our lightest lights. Mixing up colours. It's the same three, just different combinations of the same three. Here comes the wind. So it's ultramarine, Payne's grey, burnt umber is kind of basically it. Making sure as we go higher up, got lots of thin twiggery going on. A couple of foreshortened branches coming around here. Be careful because I'm not quite sure if this is totally dry yet. Doesn't seem too bad. Probably dried enough. Going for it, that was a number 2 brush I was using there. Just lifting off some of the pigment to create some textural effect there. Clear water. I'll be running some shadows in a second. I'm just going to get rid of that mixture there. A bit yucky. Get rid of that. Still quite damp. This is dry in the middle distance. So I'm just going to go and work on this number 6 across here. Almost neat paint there. Going with a fine brush now. These trees are coming in from the edge, just branches that are not really seen. Big blob of paint there, let's get rid of that. Just going for some finer work. I don't stick lavishly to the pencil marks. I always feel that the pencil marks add a little something else, and of course they're more lines. Just mixing up the tones and colours here. Don't want it all the same. Kind of just about done on this bit. A little bit dry. Right, let's go and work in on another. Let's pop in some of this warmer mixture that we had already in the palette with some ultramarine and a touch of cadmium yellow. Or touch, wow. Just want this to be darker in here. This run of darker trees in the distance. There we go. And a little touch here. Going to run in some clear water. Encourage that to bleed off there. And it's all looking a bit samey, so I will add some dabs of blue in here, ultramarine, just to mix it up a little bit and warm it up with the burnt umber, just in places. There we go. Popping in some neat Payne's grey. So we've got the eye definitely going here. Going to put these fence posts in now. I think I'll go for a number 2 brush for this. Quite dark. And I can see the way that's bleeding and blurring, so I'm gonna wait on this. but in here. And all we've really got left now are the shadows. But I want to just create something. I want to show you, if you spray back in, you will create all kinds of lovely effects. And this fence post is kind of messed up, so I'm just going to take this out with clear water while we can, because it's not working. We're going to wait for that to dry. Just take that out, get some tissue, totally take it out there. And on this side, it just doesn't work. Not going to do any harm. You can get that in really fast. The time to do it is now. Just take it back to the light. As I was saying, I want to spray in here. I like the way this is kind of blurring. I just want to freshen up parts of this painting, and then just let the water do what it's got to do. Just add some sparkle, and then we're going to let this dry, and we're going to put the shadows in. So I've been painting this subject and around this church almost a 360 for the last 3 weeks, and what I've noticed in this middle distance and the distance here is how much more green we've got, the greenery certainly when the sun hits in this place, which is interesting in itself, a lovely little study. But this foreground tree here, budding up, but we've just not got that green foliage coming in. Right, we're ready to pop in the fence. We'll do that now. We'll get that in quickly. No messing around. Put in these uprights. There we go. That's enough. No more on there. So I do want to darken up a couple of them. Put in some Payne's grey just for variation, otherwise it all looks similar. And that's not brilliant. Okay, and we'll sort out some shadows in here as well. A second, let's just strengthen up this. This is almost dry. This is definitely dry. I'm going to mix up shadow colour. Let's mix up ultramarine and a crimson to mix up a beautiful shadow colour here. Right on cue, the sun comes out so we can see these shadows. Kind of coming off to the left here today. And as they go off, they will fade away, so we can just add some clear water to help that fading process. Across here. Touch of blue in the the start of the shadow, just to make that slightly darker. And let that just bleed down. There we go. And then across the back here we have shadow. I'm just going to put in some clear water before I pop that in. Because there's one right the way across here, almost like a cloud shadow. Soft edge and a hard edge. And coming across the front from this side and from these trees here. We'll warm this up a little bit. Add a touch of burnt umber just here. Just warm that up. Mix it up. Very liquidy. And just some neat ultramarine. Move the board around for it to blend and bleed in. A bit more cool there. Cooler colours. Probably do with one coming in here. There we go. And then we just got to let the water do its own thing, which is basically what watercolor does. Take out some here. And then there's this fence here. And we're done then. We really are done. Keep saying we're done. It was our blues, ultramarine. My cad, yellow. This is all going to bleed in, which should be quite a nice little effect if we're sparing with it. There we go. Pop in a bit of blue. Pop in a bit of brown. Just bring that forward a little touch. Run that in here. Clear water. Gonna leave this sharp. These cockerels, I think they're psychic because they know when I'm about to finish. So here's the final painting. Really pleased with the shadow colours, the textures. You can see them there. Beautiful granulation. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. Remember to like, to subscribe, to ring that notification bell and all that jazz. Take care now. We'll see you again soon. Happy painting.